Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Going to start our calendar for this morning. Appreciate your patience. We're having a little technical difficulties, but I believe we've gotten through it on this Friday morning. And these are the Orca calendars for Friday, September the 23rd, 2023. I am Judge Regina Mincy, and I'll be presiding today. I want to first inform everyone that you have certain rights and make sure that the defendants on this calendar understand that. The first right being that you have a right to an attorney to represent you in these proceedings. And by now, most people should know who their attorney is, or have hired a private attorney if you're not represented by the PD's office. Also, you have a constitutional right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the occurrences, and circumstances in your case can and will be held against you, maybe at a later date, if not today. So be careful. Govern yourselves accordingly and follow your attorney's instructions. And we'll get started in a All right, the first case that I'm going to call is case number 20, CR 003089F. Looks like Liana Ross. You're charged with one count of DUI, driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe. Second count is speeding. The offense date is May 31st, 2019.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Attorney Marcus Roberts. I'm representing Ms. Ross. And we are preparing our plea paperwork so that we may conduct the plea this morning.
All right, State.
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, the plea paperwork has been sent to Mr. Roberts and Ms. Ross, both on August 23rd and as of yesterday. So we are prepared for the plea. I will be taking that plea when it's ready, Your Honor.
All right, there are notes in the chat, and Attorney Roberts is sending that plea paperwork back to you, Ms. Riley, first.
And Ms. Bolton.
And Ms. Bolton, good. So he's got both emails.
Yes.
All right. All right, we'll hold on a second till we get the paperwork going, and I will gladly take the plea, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the show cause calendar. First case on the calendar is 20 CR 005390Y. Tommy Lee Banks. You're charged with one count of simple assault. Offense date 12/23/2018. State.
Your Honor, if Mr. Banks does not appear, we would be asking for a bench warrant. He has been at least on 2 other calendars. And at this point, we would ask for a bench warrant.
All right, I will sound again for Tommy Lee Banks. Tommy Lee Banks. All right, I will hold for a second, but we will certainly honor the recommendation of an FTA warrant.
I apologize, Judge. This is Tommy Banks. There's an attorney listed, Fludgem Thomas.
Oh, I do see that. Thank you, Ellen. Do we see attorney, is it Flugum?
Your Honor, neither the attorney or Mr. Banks have appeared. So again, the state would stand on this request for a bench warrant at this point.
All right, we'll give them a few seconds to see if the attorney logs on or if he's still representing him. If we don't hear from either, then I will issue the bench warrant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case is 20 CR 005649Y, Brooke Buford, charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting, offense date 5/15/2019. State.
Again, Your Honor, if Ms. Buford does not appear, being that this would be her third opportunity to appear for the calendar, we would ask for an FTA bench warrant.
All right. And again, I will sound for Brooke Buford. Brooke Buford. All right, if I don't hear from her, she doesn't sign on, by the time we're done shortly, we will issue that bench warrant. Next case, 20 CR 003015Y, Victor Canales Hernandez, charged with 1 count of DUI less safe, 2nd count failure to maintain lane or improper lane change, and a 3rd charge of DUI per se. Offense date February the 6th, 2019. State.
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Castaneda is present. I'm not sure how this case got to the show cause calendar because Mr. Castaneda does have the plea paperwork for his client, unless his client failed to appear.
Your Honor, my client is here and he's there present, Victor Canales. At the last hearing, I had a problem with the login link. Instead of an I, it should have been a J on one of the letters. That's why both me and Mr. Canales were not there at the last hearing, but we did reach out with the court staff and we were made aware of that like an hour and a half after the hearing had already stopped. Subsequently, I contacted the state, got the plea paperwork, and they have it, and we're prepared to go with the plea today. And as far as the failure to appear, we'd ask that there be no sanctions against my client because we both did try to get there.
All right, I understand, Mr. Is it Castaneda?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we will be ready momentarily to take your plea.
We will need a Spanish interpreter, Your Honor. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Let me see if we have one available. I don't think one was assigned to this calendar.
Because when I sent the plea paperwork on the 15th, I let the state know that we needed a Spanish interpreter.
And
Hold on
Mr.
a second,
Castaneda, who
let
did
me-
you send the plea paperwork to
Let me see here.
for the state?
Yeah, let me see here. It says I sent it to Sarita Githea and also Denise Riley on September 15th at 3:30 p.m.
Thank you.
Mr. Castaneda, I was listening but not listening. Have we determined who has the plea paperwork?
I had submitted it to the state, Your Honor, on September 15th. So is that, I submitted to somebody named Sarita Guthrie. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, and also to Miss Riley. And
Yes, good morning, good morning, Your Honor.
Mhm.
I'm looking for the email now.
Okay,
September 15th, about 3:30.
Yes, I have the email, Your Honor.
All right.
the next issue, although we may have the plea paperwork, the next issue that we may have will be the interpreter. And that has to be requested well in advance to have someone available there.
Correct, Your Honor, and it was not requested by the state.
Right.
Good morning, Your Honor. I will make a phone call because the clerk's office, of course, had no idea that an interpreter would be needed. But if the court would give me a few minutes, I can make a phone call to see if we can possibly get an interpreter.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Castanado, hold for a second, you and your client. Let's see if we can find an interpreter. for
Yes.
the-
All right.
If not, we may have to unfortunately reset, which I'm trying not to do. If we
Now, now for future reference, Your Honor, I wasn't familiar. Was I supposed to contact the clerk's office, or I thought I had when I contacted the state, let them know that that was to take care of it.
I will honestly say that is not the state's job. They are the prosecutors. You represent your client, so you would have to have requested that through the clerk's office.
Okay.
They need to know sooner rather than later, because again, we don't really have tons of interpreters, sitting around waiting for these calendars. But normally and in the future, you would request that and let the clerk's office know. Okay.
All right, Your Honor.
So let's see what we can do. We might get lucky for Friday and be able to find one.
All right, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, hold please. All right, the next case, 20 CR 005577Y, Harold Charles. One count of simple battery, two counts of simple battery. Offense date January 3rd of 2020. State.
Yes, Your Honor, same announcement. Mr. Charles, has had the opportunity to appear on 2 prior Orca calendars, so we would ask at this time for a bench warrant to be issued.
And his notice was returned.
I do see note on the calendar, his notice was returned. So
I'm here.
No, okay, Mr. Is it Harold Charles? Did I
Yes, ma'am.
backward? All right, Mr. Charles is here.
I've been in the
Charles?
hospital.
I'm
I've been in the
sorry.
hospital. I was in a car wreck, and the address where we was at, we had on move, but I thought they had on. I thought I had gave them a new address because all my new mail was coming to. So I just got to the hospital like 2 weeks ago from a broken knee and a car wreck. So I got the paper yesterday from my mother. So that's why I logged in today. But I never knew I had to come to court.
Hold on 1 second. Is there something wrong with your camera? I don't know who I'm talking to. There you go. Okay.
I'm
I
sorry.
have to see you and see your cameras on. If you thought you gave your new address to, who did you give that to? Did you give it to the clerk's office?
No, ma'am, but I had put it in the system, so I thought that all my other paperwork was coming to my mother's house, the new house she had. All my mail come there, but I don't know why my court paper didn't come there.
Well, you
But-
don't have the ability to put it in the system, so I'm not for sure what you're talking about and putting it in the system. You would have to give that information to the clerk's office, which is what you need to do immediately so that the future notices would come to the address where you would receive mail.
Oh, okay, thank you for telling me.
Madam Clerk, is there somewhere, should we give him the address? Does he have to come in? Are you able to see the chat?
Yes, I can see you, yes.
Okay, she's gonna send you a personal chat message with that information as to where you need to update or send your address information, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll need to do that. Are we going to reset him, or what does the state say at this point?
Your Honor, I can certainly give the state's recommendation on the record. I'm not sure if Mr. Charles would like to apply for the public defender's office, or if he wants to seek his own private representation.
Mr.
You got
Charles?
you can public defender.
I'm sorry?
I take a public defender.
Okay, you want to apply for a public
I don't know why I
defender?
can't hear.
Because I'm not
One
sure if
second.
you're qualified, but you have to submit an application.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can. You have to submit an application for the public defender's office.
Okay, so how would I do that, please, ma'am?
That's all in the chat, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I have secured an interpreter, but she would need to come on now to do that. Please.
Okay, so we need to do that pretty quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh. All right, hold on 1 second, because I need to get this interpreter while I can. Mr. Charles. So hold for a second. I'm going to circle back to you. Let me take this plea real quickly.
Your Honor, what he can do is go ahead and follow the instructions in the chat. The public defender's office can go ahead and contact him, start the process and see if he qualifies. By the time we finish,
We should know.
we should know.
Mr. Charles, can you see the instructions in the chat on how to apply?
Yes, ma'am. I see it. She told me to
Okay.
come to the clerk office.
No, it didn't say that.
That's for his change.
That's for your change of address. Do you see about the application for the public defender's office? I'm going to hold for a second because I want to get this plea real quick and I'll come back to you so that we can make sure you have the right instructions. Hold for a second.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Mr. Castaneda
Yes, Your Honor.
and Mr. Canales.
Mr. Canales, can you turn your audio on?
And let's see, where is
There should be a button there that says unmute,
the red microphone?
the red microphone.
And my interpreter? Has she signed on yet?
Your interpreter, she just got the link. She should be on shortly, Your Honor.
There you
Okay,
go.
Okay, I turned the unmute button on.
all
Okay.
right, thank you.
You were gonna say something, Victor?
No, I just didn't hear anything.
Okay.
We're waiting for the interpreter to sign in. She just received the link. So hold for a second and voila.
She's on, Your Honor.
She does. All right.
Good morning, Your Honor. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly affirm that you will faithfully interpret from Spanish to English and English to Spanish the proceedings before the court in an accurate manner and with the best of your skill and knowledge with no embellishments?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, this is case number 20 CR 003089F. Hold on, wrong number.
Okay.
Let me start over. This is case number 20 CR 003015Y, State versus Victor Canales Hernandez.
Estamos aquí para la causa del 20 CR 003015Y, el Estado contra Víctor Canales Hernández.
And the charge is one count of DUI less safe,
Las infracciones son una infracción de manejar bajo los efectos de alcohol,
second charge of failure to maintain lane or improper lane change,
la segunda infracción es no mantenerse en el carril de tránsito o cambiarse de carril inapropiadamente,
and a third count of DUI per se.
y luego una tercera infracción de manejar bajo los efectos de alcohol por el nivel de alcoholemia.
And the offense date is February the 6th, 2019.
La fecha de la infracción es el 6 de febrero de 2019.
And I understand that this is a negotiated plea.
Tengo entendido que es una declaración a las infracciones negociada.
All right, and State, would you like to read the recommendation?
Si el Estado quisiera decir la recomendación de la condena para que conste en el acta.
Yes, Your Honor. Is Mr. Castaneda and Mr. Canales Hernandez waiving a reading of the factual basis?
El señor Canales Hernández está renunciando a la lectura de los hechos que fundamentan la causa.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, su señoría.
All right, if you waive the formal reading, do you stipulate to venue, identity, and a factual basis?
Yes.
Bueno, si renuncia a la lectura formal, está de acuerdo que quede establecido la locación, la jurisdicción. Sí, su señoría.
Thank you. The state's recommendation to 1 count of DUI less safe.
Muy bien, entonces la recomendación para la primera infracción de manejar bajo los efectos de alcohol, ser un conductor descuidado,
Is 12 months to serve 48 hours.
sería 12 meses para cumplir 48 horas.
Balance probated,
El saldo de ese tiempo en libertad condicional,
a $300 fine,
con una multa de $300,
40 hours of community service
40 horas de servicio comunitario,
to complete a risk reduction course,
que complete un curso de reducción de riesgos,
to have a alcohol and drug evaluation done and any treatment that is recommended,
que se somete a una evaluación de alcohol y droga y tratamiento si se lo recomienda,
and to attend 1 victim impact panel.
y que existe una sesión del panel de víctimas.
And ASG Riley, is the defendant pleading to all 3 charges?
Your Honor, the other 2 counts will be no prosta. We'll submit those at the conclusion of the plea.
All right, the other
Licenciado
2
Riley, el señor acusado se está declarando a las 3 infracciones. Las otras 2 quedan desestimadas y voy a presentarlas al concluirse la declaración. Está bien.
All right, so the plea is just to 1 count of DUI less safe, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Entonces se está declarando solamente a la única infracción de manejar bajo los efectos de alcohol a riesgo de embriaguez, ¿cierto? Sí.
And Mr. Castaneda, is that your understanding of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor, that is my understanding. And I had mentioned too that my client was visiting from Florida. He's a Florida resident. He actually lives in Miami, Florida. And so his reporting we would request to be phone-in reporting. And he's told me he's done the 48 hours of jail time. So he would just need to take care of those probation and his community service hours and things like that where he lives in Miami.
Licenciado Castañeda, así fue que usted entendió el arreglo, sí. Y le menciono a su señoría que mi cliente vive en el estado de la Florida, estaba visitando desde la Florida, de hecho vive en Miami. Entonces, solicito por favor que cumpla su libertad condicional por teléfono. Él me afirma que ya completó las 48 horas de cárcel. Entonces, si él pudiera hacer las horas de servicio comunitario y las condiciones de su libertad condicional en el estado de la Florida.
All right. I will go ahead. Are we able to do that with probation for him to do phone in from Florida? I know that
Eso
may not be.
se puede hacer con probation que se reporte por teléfono desde la Florida. Your Honor, you went muted. I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry.
It seemed like the audio muted a moment and I couldn't hear you.
I was checking with my litigation manager. I'm going to make sure, state that we put that in the order, that since the defendant resides in Florida, that we're requesting phone-in reporting.
Yes, Your Honor, the state has no objection to reporting by phone or mail.
Okay.
Quiero disponer a la orden que el señor acusado se reporte por teléfono como vive en el estado de Georgia. Si su señoría, el estado no se opone.
All right, Mr. Canales, I will accept the plea, and I will ask you a series of questions before I begin to do that.
Bueno, señor Canales, yo acepto su declaración a las infracciones y le voy a hacer una serie de preguntas antes de hacer eso.
Raise your right hand for me. I need to swear you in.
Levante la mano derecha, por favor, para que tome el juramento.
Do you affirm that the testimony that you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
¿Afirma que el testimonio que usted va a dar es la verdad y toda la verdad bajo pena de perjurio, señor?
Sí, acepto.
Yes, I accept.
All right, you put your hand down.
Gracias, puede bajar la mano.
At this time, Mr. Canales, are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol?
En este momento, señor Canales está bajo los efectos de droga, medicina o alcohol.
No, nunca. he estado.
No, I never have been.
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
¿Y está satisfecho con los servicios y la representación de su abogado?
Sí,
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up and waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Entiende que al declararse culpable está renunciando y cediendo la presunción de inocencia.
sí,
Yes.
And that you're giving up and waiving the right to remain silent and not testify against yourself?
Y que también está renunciando y cediendo el derecho de permanecer callado y no dar testimonio en su propia contra.
sí,
Yes.
And that you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Y que también está renunciando el derecho a un juicio por juez o por jurado de la manera que usted prefiere.
sí,
Yes.
And you're prepared and agree to waive these rights today?
Y está preparado y está de acuerdo renunciar a esos derechos aquí hoy.
sí.
Yes.
Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty today?
¿Alguien le ha dicho, señor, que va a recibir una sentencia reducida a cambio de declararse culpable aquí hoy?
No,
No.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
¿O le han hecho promesas para que usted se declare culpable?
no,
No.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea today?
Entiende que si actualmente está cumpliendo otra condena de libertad condicional, esa condena de libertad condicional pudiera quedar revocada a consecuencias de declararse culpable aquí.
sí,
Yes.
And do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, your immigration status may be affected because of your guilty plea today?
Y entiende que si no es ciudadano estadounidense, su situación migratoria pudiera quedar afectada a consecuencias de declararse culpable aquí hoy.
sí,
Yes.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charge against you?
Y está manifestando entonces su declaración de culpable libre y voluntariamente, entendiendo completamente estas infracciones.
sí,
Yes.
And so as to the charge of DUI less safe, how do you plead?
En cuanto a la infracción de manejar bajo el riesgo de embriaguez, ¿cómo se declara?
culpable.
Guilty.
All right, I will accept this negotiated plea. And do you understand the conditions of the plea, Mr. Canales Hernandez?
Muy bien, yo acepto esta negociación. ¿Y usted entiende bien los términos de la negociación, señor Canales?
Sí,
Yes.
All right, that's 12 months to serve 48 hours. Credit for that time served, balance probated, $300 fine, 40 hours of community service, risk reduction course, ADET, which is a alcohol and drug treatment evaluation with following any recommendations, and one VIP or one victim impact panel. And you will be allowed to phone in for your reporting while you're on probation, okay?
Muy bien. Entonces, queda aceptada la condena de 12 meses para cumplir 48 horas, acreditando el tiempo que ya cumplió, el saldo de ese tiempo en libertad condicional, una multa de $300, 40 horas de servicio comunitario, el curso de reducción de riesgos y una evaluación y tratamiento por problema de consumo de alcohol y droga y tratamiento si se lo recomienda, y asistir a una sesión del panel de víctimas y se le va a permitir reportar por medio telefónico.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, this should conclude the plea. Is there anything else that either council wishes me to take up at this time?
No,
Bueno, la declaración.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
¿Algo más de los licenciados? Nada.
Have I received the email? Hold on 1 second. All right, I have the plea paperwork, the documents.
Bueno, tengo la documentación de la declaración.
Your Honor, I have no contact number for Mr. Charles, so I'm going to need a breakout room with him to be able to qualify him for our services.
All right. Is that Ms. Helen?
That is, Your Honor.
How are you today?
I'm good, Judge. How are you doing?
Good. Let me finish this in 1 second. I am done. I have the plea paperwork, and that should conclude our matters. Mr. Castaneda and Mr. Canales Hernandez, you're both free to go.
Bueno, tengo la documentación, la sesión está concluida, ya se puede retirar, señor Castañeda y señor Canales.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good weekend. All right, thank you. Is it Ms. Toles?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Toles. Have a great weekend.
I think your services are complete. We'll let you go unless we call you back.
Yes, ma'am. Have a great one.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And can I ask which ASG has Mr. Charles's case?
That would be SG Riley.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you send me the offer in the chat, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
And Mr. Charles, are you able to put your number in the chat directly?
Yes.
I did, Judge. He doesn't have a working phone number to be able to speak with me with.
Okay. What are you using at this point, Mr. Charles? You're using a laptop?
No, I'm using an old cell phone. It's my cell phone, but it's like I'm getting like no bars, so I had to order a new phone, and it haven't came yet. It's not giving me any bars to call out or receive calls unless I'm around Wi-Fi, and I can only get FaceTime.
Are we able to put Mr. Charles and Miss Helen in a group chat, in a chat? I didn't mean a group chat, in a breakout room. I lost my word there, the breakout room. Okay, we're gonna put you in a breakout room. I hope that phone survives, Mr. Charles, so we can get our work done.
It's fully charged. I'm ready.
Okay, we're gonna cross our fingers. She's gonna put you in a breakout room. Mhm. Mr. Roberts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you see the message for you or received an email?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, are you able to do that for us?
I am. I'm working on the probation paperwork now.
Okay, well, it's not the probation paperwork, it's the plea and verdict form.
Yes, I've circled the guilty on it. I hadn't sent it back yet because I was going to send that
All
in the
together.
probation paperwork
Okay.
at the same time. But I'll be
Gotcha.
done with this momentarily.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, let's see. I'll hold for a second on that. On the message, I just let me make sure I'm muted. ASG Riley.
Yes,
I have a question. I'm circling back to position 2, the Buford case.
yes, Your Honor.
On that case, I am considering changing my ruling from an FTA to a dead docket. But I just want to make sure that there is no violence or weapons involved in that case. Do you have the brief facts of that case?
Just a moment to pull it up. I don't believe so. It was I have a stay away from targets. I believe it was just a theft from Target.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. But I would just point out for the record, the incident happened in 2019, which was prior to, in the COVID citations
Right.
in regards to a dead docket.
And I know that you said it had been reset 3 times.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are we sure that the address is correct? Nothing's been returned.
No, Your Honor.
Yes. Oh,
All right, ASG Riley.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you pull that case up? Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm looking at the report. It appears that loss prevention called out APD to the Target at 1275 Carolyn Street. And on the closed circuit television, advised that the saw Brooke Buford taking various items throughout the store and concealing the items in her handbag, as well as defrauding the business in the checkout line by only purchasing the lower priced items and continuing to conceal the higher priced items in her purse. And if I could just have a moment to relook at her criminal history.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
Yes, ma'am. She has 4 cycles, Your Honor. Prior theft offenses and a DUI, but no violent offenses.
All right, I think I'm going to, what I'll do is based on that, I'm going to change my ruling. I want to dead docket that case.
Yes, Your Honor.
And let's do that as opposed to the FTA. And we'll mark that as a dead docket. All right, what do we have next? Are we ready with the other plea? Or we're still waiting? With Mr. Ross.
I just sent the information to Ms. Bolton
Okay,
on her.
let's see how fast the speed of our email is. It's usually a little slow. Let's see. I'll call the next case while we're waiting. This is position 5, 20 CR 005825Y, Antoine Cobb. I have 1 count of simple battery, family violence, and 2 counts of battery, family violence, all with the offense date of November 24th, 2020. I see that we've had a notice return. What say you, state?
Your Honor, the state would still be asking for a bench warrant in this case.
Your Honor, this is Mike Raffoff with the Fulton Public Defender's Office. We have this file. We've had no contact with him. We've reached out. We reached out to the bondman on September the 19th, and they did not respond. But we'd ask the court not to issue a bench warrant. This is a case where Antoine Cobb had a fight with his live-in boyfriend. They both were taken to Grady, no serious injuries. I don't think he has a record.
Let me double check, Your Honor.
Okay.
It appears as though there are a couple of drug offenses out of Florida, and then 2 offenses here in Georgia. However, one is a driving offense, and then this incident.
And we were not able to reach the bonding company, or they have had no contact either.
They did not respond to us. We sent an email. My investigator did. She's got a note here. And they did not respond. It's second chance bonding. None of the contacts we have for Mr. Cobb, we couldn't contact him through those. Again, this was they were live-in lovers.
Well, but my bigger concern is not showing up in court.
Well, I believe, didn't the notices come back?
This notice was returned how many times? Has this case been reset?
This case has been on the, at least for our Orca calendar. Well, it was, before it was transferred to our division, it was on plea and arraignment in January of 2021. Again, on a plea and arraignment calendar on September 23rd of 2021. So exactly a year ago, where he also failed to appear. And then he was on the August 12th Orca calendar and failed to appear. So he has failed to appear twice, Your Honor. And this being the third failure to appear.
All right, I will go ahead and issue a bench warrant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, will that conclude this case?
Yes, for the state, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Are we ready for our plea with Mr. Ross and Attorney Roberts?
We are Miss Ross, Your Honor.
Oh, Miss Ross, I'm sorry.
No problem. Ms. Bolton indicated that she received the paperwork. We're ready to go forward.
Okay. All right. Mr. Attorney Roberts, would you like to stipulate to venue identity and a factual basis and waive the
Yes.
reading? All
Yes,
right.
Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ross, I'm getting ready to go over some things with you in order to accept your plea. First, I need to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. And again, this is case number 20 CR 003089F State versus Quiana Ross. You're charged with 1 count of DUI less safe, 2nd count of speeding, with the offense date of May 31st, 2019. State, can you read me the plea terms?
Yes, Your Honor. It would be a plea to count 1, driving under the influence of alcohol less safe. It's 12 months to serve 24 hours, the balance on probation, a $300 fine, 40 hours of community service, alcohol and drug evaluation, any treatment that is recommended, risk reduction, 1 victim impact panel. Count 2, the speeding will be no cost. The state does not have an objection to non-reporting probation upon completion, but the state would have an objection to probation terminating upon completion.
And Ms. Ross, you can put your right hand down for me. And so after the, did you say a $300 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then that was 40 hours of community service, risk reduction, and did I leave one thing out?
Yes, Your Honor, the alcohol and drug evaluation and any treatment, and 1 victim impact panel.
Right, okay. Gotcha. All right, I don't have an issue with her going non-reporting upon completion of the conditions. All right, I will accept that plea, and Ms. Ross, I'm going to ask you a series of questions in order to accept your plea. The first one being, is my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to one count of DUI less safe at the moment, and at this time, are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol? Okay, and are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up and waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes.
You're giving up and waiving the right to remain silent and to testify against yourself and not to testify against yourself.
Yes.
That you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer.
Yes.
And are you prepared and agree to waive these rights today?
Yes.
Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea today?
Yes.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charge against you?
Yes.
And as to the charge of DUI less safe, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, I'll accept your guilty plea. You've heard the terms read by the state. And again, that's 12 months probation to serve 24 hours, credit for time served, balance probated, $300 fine, 40 hours of community service, ADET, which is the alcohol and drug evaluation, and to adhere to any recommended treatment, a risk reduction course, and one victim impact panel. Once you have completed all of those conditions or those requirements, you can go non-reporting and you won't have to report, but you will still be on probation for the full 12 months, but you won't have to report once you complete those terms.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything else, counsel, that we need to take up, Mr. Roberts?
Yes, Your Honor, I just wanted to request or ensure that Ms. Ross will be eligible for a limited driving permit. This is her first lifetime DUI, first arrest actual.
Hold on one second. I will grant those limited driving privileges. However, Ms. Ross has to come down to sign those documents to submit to DDS. Can she do that next week?
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Okay. What other instructions should I give to Ms. Ross to make sure she gets to the right location to sign that DDS paperwork?
I can email council and give specific direction on how to get to our office.
Great. Counsel, they're going to email you. One of my litigation managers will email you that information, and then it will have instructions there to give to your client in order as to when and where she can come down to sign that DDS paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I have nothing further at this time.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Okay, that will conclude this matter, and you all are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge, for position 4, Mr. Charles does qualify for the public defender services. I would like to ask for a short or the shortest reset possible to enter in an appearance. Hold on, Mr. Charles, I'll speak for you. Enter in an appearance and request discovery, Judge, but we'd need just a short reset date for that.
Let's see how short I can make that, Ms. Helen. I don't know about that. Let's see. We are resetting to, is it the November 4th?
Or status, yes, Your Honor.
Right. We November the 4th is the shortest I can give you.
And Judge, we will take that.
Okay. So we're going to reset to November 4th. Status, and we'll see what we have at that point, Ms. Helen. So you heard that, Mr. Charles? You're reset to November 4th, but you will.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll keep in contact with PD Helen in the meantime.
Yes, ma'am.
you get a better working phone, which it worked really good today, you will just update her with that information.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, we are at position 6, I believe, 20 CR 004921Y. Looks like that is Dora Esquivelas Banderas, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. That charge is driving without a license and following too close, offense date 11/26/2019.
Just Your Honor, her not answering the calendar, the state would ask for this case to be dead docketed, being that it's just traffic offenses.
All right, we will dead docket that case.
I apologize, Judge. Is Mr. Charles excused?
Oh, yes, Mr. Charles, you're free to go. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you,
You
Judge.
too.
All right, thank you. All right, so we will dead docket position 6. Position 7, 20 CR 004457Y, Joshua Avery Gibson. The charge is 1 count of simple battery and a 2nd charge of theft by taking. The offense date is April 20th, 2019. Mr. Joshua Gibson.
Your Honor, the state will good morning, Erica Marshall Story for the Fulton County Solicitor General's Office. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
The state is requesting a bench warrant on this matter.
Mhm.
The charge is simple battery, theft by taking.
How many resets?
Your Honor, I need to confirm that, but I believe there have been 2 resets. One on the position judge calendar and one on the Orca calendar, but I am confirming that by going into Odyssey now.
Okay,
Status conference calendar on August 12th.
August 12th status, okay.
Prior to Orca, it was on September 21st, 2021.
Looks like it was with Judge Edie, Division Judge, September 21st, 2021. And then down here, and I say down here with Orca, after that, ASG Marshall Story. So I'll go ahead and enter the bench warrant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next case is 20 CR 005119Y, Shantia Glover. Shantia Glover, charged with 1 count of battery family violence and a 2nd count of battery and a 3rd count of simple battery, all with the offense date of July 22nd, 2020. Ms. Glover. Nope. What say you state?
Yeah, Your Honor, the state is again requesting a bench warrant. I do have to apologize. My calendar goes from position 6 to position 7, and then I don't have the position 8.
Can't answer why it's off. It doesn't belong to me, so I can't give.
All right, we would have to give an educated guess as to why it is doing that, because we have someone filling in. So all we can say is we apologize for that. Your calendar's incorrect.
Am I the only person who does not see position 8? I thought perhaps it just was renumbered and position 8 was left off and moved right to position 9.
Someone.
I have a position 8 as Shanita Glover.
Okay.
I do too, Judge.
Ms. Riley, are you able to assist or at least provide a case number?
Certainly.
Look it up.
Yes, it's 20 CR 005119. Y as in yellow.
Your Honor, Ms. Glover did fail to appear on August the 12th of 2022. And there was also a failure to appear on May the 26th, 2021 in front of Judge Edie in the division judge. So based upon there being two failures to appear in two different courtrooms, the state is requesting a bench warrant. Again, this is a battery family violence matter, along with a battery and a simple battery that have been charged and accused in this case.
All right, I will issue the bench warrant. Position 9.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Position 9, we have 20 CR 005682Y, Blair Grant. Charges theft by shoplifting, offense date August 23rd, 2019. Blair Grant.
Your Honor, this case does involve shoplifting from Walmart. And for those reasons, we will consent to this case being dead docketed. But so the court is aware there was a failure to appear on August the 12th of 2022. And there was also a failure to appear at the plea and arraignment in front of Judge Fred Edie, July the 7th of 2021.
Do you by chance have any brief facts at all?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me pull those up for you.
Okay.
Based on
Oh, really?
based on the accusation, Your Honor, the defendant did unlawfully take diapers, sheets, and clothing valued at $500 or less from Walmart. And this offense took place on August 23rd of 2019.
All right, let's do a dead docket on that one.
The state has no opposition to that.
Thank you. Okay. Next case is 20 CR 005571Y, Kanisha Hempfield. This case is being charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence, a second count of simple assault, family violence, both with the offense date of April the 13th, 2020. And I see the notice was returned. You have any other information?
Yes, Your Honor. This is a co-defendant case with the defendant who is also the following position. There was a failure to appear on August 12th, 2022 for the defendant at hand, Kanisha Hemphill. There was also a failure to appear at the plea and arraignment calendar back on November 9th of 2021 in front of Judge Edie. There was also a plea and arraignment calendar on July 7th of 2021 in front of Judge Edie, where there was another failure or the initial failure to appear. For those reasons, and that the charges are serious charges of simple battery, family violence, and simple assault, family violence, the state is requesting a bench warrant.
All right, I will issue that bench warrant.
Thank
Hold a second, okay. All right, we are on position 9, no, we're not 10, 11, 20 CR 005714Y. Looks like a nesty hunt.
Yes, that's me. It's honesty.
Honesty.
Hmm.
Okay,
How you doing?
I'm fine. Can you turn on your camera for me?
That's what I've been trying to do. It's not letting me. Hold on real quick. It's not giving me the option to turn. Like I can see myself now. Huh? Can you help me? No. To get back and gotta hit that.
And Judge, I think I do remember this case. Position 11 to 12, one is mom, one is daughter.
Mm-hmm. The other one is Shamika Hunt.
Shakima, I'm present as well.
Sorry, Shakima, I apologize. All right, Shakima Hunt, and your case number is 20 CR 005749Y.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Honesty Hunt, ending in 5714Y. And what is the status for today? State.
Your Honor, the state has a plea recommendation for both positions 11 and 12. Are they moving forward with attorneys, or would you just like me to put that recommendation on the record?
All right. Let me start first with Honesty Hunt. Are you going to get counsel? And I understand this case is being reset today. I have some notes here as to what may have happened at the last date. You were to return back to the Zoom hearing, but you did not. So
We did, but we were never let in.
okay, are you going to get counsel? Or hire
No.
counsel? You're gonna represent yourself. So I was
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
actually first to Honesty.
Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
What is, just talk on my phone.
They can't do that.
What was
They can't both be in the
Both
same
of you,
state.
one, should,
I'm gonna go into the room.
Shakima, can you mute yourself? Shakima, can you mute yourself? Shakima, thank you. All right, Honesty, can you unmute yourself?
Now they've switched, Your Honor.
I just
So
noticed, yeah.
now Shakima is on Honesty's phone and Honesty is on
This is
Shakima's.
not gonna work. You need to be on.
Oh, is my speaker on? Oh. I'm sorry, I couldn't work the speaker.
Now they're back, Your Honor. They're back.
Okay. All right, Honesty, are you going to hire an attorney?
No.
Gonna represent yourself?
Yeah.
You understand the consequences of representing yourself?
Yeah.
These are very serious charges, and you are to know Georgia law. And there's serious consequences, and you're expected to know that in representing yourself, which may not always be a good idea.
So is there a way I could get a public defender?
We can see if you qualify.
Okay.
Are you able to see the chat notice?
This is Mike Raffoff, public defender. If we could put it in breakout room, or they can put their number in the chat room, or I can put my number in it. It makes no difference to me.
All right, Ms. Bryant James, can you put them in a breakout so she can see if she qualifies? And then while we're doing that, then I'll go to the other one and see what we do with both. And that's position 11, that's Honesty Hunt.
Mr. Rafa, do you see a prompt on your screen?
Okay. Thank you. All right, and Shakima Hunt,
Yes, ma'am.
are
Yes.
you going to represent yourself or hire counsel?
I'm gonna get a public defender as well.
All right.
And so, Judge, I believe this happened last time, so I think they're both defendants or co-defendants on the case.
Mm-hmm.
So if we represent honesty, I believe Ms. Shamika will need the conflict attorney's office.
Correct. Do we have one available today at all? Conflict,
Well,
or we'll have to reset. Hold on one second, please.
okay.
All right, back on the record. For Ms. Hunt Shakima.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what I'm going to order you to do, Shakima, in order to see if you qualify for the services with the conflict defender, you're going to have to come downtown and come into the office to do that.
Okay.
And so you're going to need to come to the clerk's office on Tuesday, September 27th. Can you do that?
Tuesday, September 27th. Yes, ma'am.
Between the hours of 8:30 and 4:30.
Okay.
And if you do not show up, then they will let me know and I'll issue a warrant for your arrest. Okay?
No problem.
Okay, so Tuesday, the 27th, you're to come to the state court clerk's office.
Is
Here-
that the 160 Prior Street?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're going to the state court clerk's office. And they will give you the forms or the information on how to sign up for a conflict defender.
Okay.
And as I stated, I'm being very clear about this.
I heard you. If I don't show up, you'll issue a warrant.
All right, so we will see you on Tuesday.
Tuesday, between the hours of 8 and 4:30. Oh, 4 o'clock.
That's fine.
Okay.
The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then we'll see where your case moves from there, because it's been reset a number of times. And these are very serious charges. So we want to get your case going, okay?
Is this a charge for the simple battery?
Let me make sure you're clear on your charges. You have 6 charges.
6?
Yep. This case number is 20 CR 005749Y. You may want to write that down. The first charge is battery, substantial physical harm. Second charge is battery. Third charge is simple battery. Fourth charge is simple battery. Fifth charge is simple battery, and sixth charge is simple battery. So there's 6 charges with the offense date of March the 20th, 2020.
I'm so confused. I don't understand. How is it 6 charges?
Well, Judge, she may need the accusations, which would list the basis of each charge. So she may need the accusations.
When you come to the clerk's office on Tuesday, ask them for a copy of the accusations, or just, all paperwork regarding your case, and they will give you copies of those. But that is what is showing on the calendar for this incident.
Okay.
All right, so we will see you on Tuesday.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Donna,
No problem.
Yes.
on number 11,
Okay, yes.
that's the daughter. She does qualify. And we'd ask the case be reset so we can get discovery and discuss the case with her and with the solicitor. And which solicitor is that?
Erica Marshall Story. Good morning, sir.
Okay, thank you. And also, can Miss Onesti put her, I failed to get good phone numbers for her. Can she put those in the chat room?
Okay, Honesty Hunt,
I'm here. I don't know how to turn the camera on. I'm sorry.
you don't know how to put that in the chat?
Well, can she tell me then?
Yeah, that would be better.
Go ahead, quickly.
610-507-2022.
Do you have another phone number?
No, just this one or my mom's if you want my mom's.
Well, just give me that in case, okay?
Okay, 404-600-9912.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now stay on the line, stay on the video.
All right, Miss Honesty Hunt, with your case, we're going to reset that. Will that be November 4th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll reset your case to November the 4th. And in the meantime, you need to speak to
Raffle.
Raffle, PD Raffle, for representation. If he comes back to us on November the 4th and says he's had no contact with you, or you've not cooperated, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Okay.
So this is the last of the sets for representation and things of that nature.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
I said this is the last of the resets for ability to receive counsel. So we provided that to you today, and you need to cooperate and meet with him, and also reappear on November the 4th for that court date. Okay.
And Your Honor, can you please advise both mother and daughter defendants to continue to stay away from Rosalie Harden, the victim in this matter?
All right, and again, the victim, Rosalie Harden.
Harden. With
Harden.
I'm sorry, Darden.
It's
D-A-R.
Rosalie Darden, D-A-R-D-E-N. Hello?
All right, Miss Darden, can you mute yourself for me?
Yes, it's
Thank you.
Darden, D-A-R-D-E-N.
You do it. Keep pressing. Go ahead.
All right, so Honesty Hunt and Shakima Hunt, both of you can hear me, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You have your cameras turned off, and I understand that you really shouldn't even be in the same space, but I guess we'll tackle that as we go. Because you're both violating court orders. And so the next condition of your bond is that you have no further contact, and as well as stay away from the victim, Ms. Darden. Are both of you clear on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And if you both don't understand that, or Ms. Darden calls the police and reports that you all are anywhere near her, then you will both have your bonds revoked. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I hope that everyone acts accordingly, and we'll see everyone back on November the 4th. I was going to order PD Raffall that both of these co-defendants appear in person, because there's been some issues with that. So can you all appear in person?
November 4th, yes.
All right, November 4th at 9 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I want both of you to appear in person.
Can you give them the address, Judge? And I believe the courtroom is G33.
Right, the courtroom is G33. And
Is
that's
this the same 160 prior?
yes, 160 prior, but I don't believe you can come in on 160 prior.
Mhm.
You will have to come in at 136.
136 prior? Okay.
Yes, come up those steps, and then they will give you directions on how to cross over to this building. 160 is only for employees.
Gotcha.
But I need both of you to hear me clear and understand. I'm making the notes on the record. I want both of you to appear in person, but on Tuesday, the 27th,
I'll go for the
right, Shakima Hunt will come down here to 160 prior to second floor to the clerk's office to sign up for services of the conflict defender.
Yeah.
All right, is everybody clear?
Your Honor, is to both the Hunts. If somebody can copy, I put my name and phone number in the chat room. If either one of them can write that down, so Miss Honesty Hunt will have it. She doesn't have that capability, apparently.
Yeah, I believe it's Honesty.
Yes,
Yeah.
Honesty.
I can't get them. I don't know how to, like, it's not
Can your
letting me
mother do it
anything.
for you?
Well, the problem I have is we keep telling them to talk to each other and be around each other.
But they
And
live
then-
together. They live together.
And that's the problem too. That's why I'm bringing them in.
Yeah, it's hard.
All right. I got her number. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
And Your Honor, one last thing, I wanted to make sure, since we have our victim advocate also present, Ms.
Mhm.
Clemens, can you please make sure that you have all contact information for Ms. Darden?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ms. Darden, thank you for your time, and we'll see everyone back on November 4th.
Thank you. Do I have to come in too?
Ms. Clemens will get in contact with you and let you know that, and she will talk to you about that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Your
Hold
Honor.
on 1 second.
Ask her to check for her
updated contact information.
Right, can you check the chat? You're saying for Miss Darden to check the chat?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Darden, can you check your chat real quick before we sign off? You see a message there?
Yes.
Okay.
It
That
would
should
be from
answer your
Miss
question.
Clemens.
Huh?
It would be from Miss Clemens directly to you. You need to respond directly back to her, not to the entire group of people that are on the Zoom call.
Okay, I don't
It
see
says
her.
SG Victim Advocate Shakita Clemens. You see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, the Clemens.
Don't read it out loud, just.
Okay, what do I click on to
Should say reply, does it not?
Your Honor, I believe it should say to, and then the name that Ms. Darden has is not her last name. It is
Something different.
well, she looks like she may have just changed it. So
Okay.
it may be there now. It was two first names that were there.
Oh,
But
okay.
Ms. Clemens, are you comfortable now with us moving forward and having Ms. Darden's information?
She haven't provided the information yet.
Okay. All
I'm
right,
gonna
Your
put
Honor,
my
I don't
number
want to.
in the chat to her so she can contact me.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor, for that.
All right, yeah.
Indulgence.
No problem. All right, Ms. Darden, you can mute yourself now. And as soon as you have that information for Ms. Clemens, you can go ahead and sign off, okay? All right, we will move forward with position 13, Antonio Kent, 20 CR 005381Y. He's charged with one count of criminal trespass and a second count of theft by taking, July 1, 2019, return notice. State.
Good morning, Your Honor. The state will request a dead docket on that case.
Okay. All right, that case has been dead docketed. Next case is 20 CR 005174Y, Alistair Murray, charged with one count of criminal trespass, a second count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer, both with the offense date of October the 11th, 2019.
The state requests a bench warrant, Your Honor. He failed to appear on August 12th of this year, as well as September 2nd of 2021.
Give me a little factual or background. I know I see the obstruction, but just wanted to make sure.
He was actually running away from the police at the time, and he ran into someone else's apartment unit while the police were chasing him. And that's where the criminal trespass comes in, because he ran into someone else's apartment.
What's his history generally?
He has 8 cycles. Let me see what they are. He was arrested in February 2021 for battery family violence. There's another one in 2019 for criminal trespass and property damage. And he has some theft offenses as well, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'll issue the FTA. All right, that will conclude that case. Next case is 20 CR 005459Y. Monacia Simmons. Forgery in the 4th degree, 3 counts, January the 8th, 2020. What do we have?
The state requests a bench warrant on this, Your Honor. It appears that she used someone else's information to obtain an apartment. And she also has 18 cycles. I'm looking to see what they are. She appears to have driving violations, traffic offenses.
And then after you look at that, tell me what are her FTA dates?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear you.
What are her failure to appear dates, and what were her prior court dates?
She failed to appear August 12th of 2022 and January 27th, 2021.
All right, I'll issue a bench warrant. Next case 20 CR 005047Y. Looks like Kalon or Keelan Walker, simple assault 10/13/2020.
The state would request a bench warrant. He failed to appear on August 12th, 2022 and October 7th, 2021. He has 17 cycles, including a family violence history, one being aggravated assault, simple battery, and battery family violence.
All right, I'll issue a bench warrant. Next one is 20 CR 004670Y, Anthony Wilder. Simple battery, August 21st, 2020.
The state requests a bench warrant. He failed to appear August 12th, 2022 and September 23rd, 1 year ago today. And just given the nature of his offense, he also has 6 cycles, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'll issue a bench warrant. And next is 20 CR 005168Y, Spencer Wright. He's charged with obstruction, 2 counts of obstruction, 1 count of simple battery against a police officer or detention officer. Looks like May 12, 2020, and then 10/13, 2020.
Yes, Your Honor, the state requests a bench warrant. He failed to appear August 12th, 2022 and September 21st, 2021. He has 22 cycles. And with the current offenses, he resisted arrest and he spat in the officer's face numerous times.
All right, I'll issue a bench warrant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm. All
And
right,
Judge, what was the announcement for position 13?
13 dead docket.
Understood, Judge. And one last question, the reset date is November the 4th for the reset cases?
Correct.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and reconcile the calendar real quick.
Everyone hear me okay? This is the Orca East show cause calendar. Position number 1, Banks, FTA bench warrant. Position number 2, Buford, FTA dead docket. Position number 3, Canales Hernandez, negotiated plea. Position number 4, Charles, reset for status calendar, November 4th. Position number 5, Cobb, FTA bench warrant. Position number 6, Esquivel, Benderes, FTA dead docket. Position number 7, Gibson, FTA bench warrant. Position number 8, FTA bench warrant. Position number 9, Grant, FTA dead docket. Position number 10, Hemphill, FTA bench warrant. Position number 11, Hunt, reset status calendar, November 4th, must appear in person for court on November 4th. And position number 12, Hunt, reset status, November 4th, must appear in person for court on November 4th and report to state court clerk's office to apply for conflict attorney September 27th. Position number 13, FTA Kent, FTA dead docket. Position number 14, Murray, FTA bench warrant. Position number 15, Simmons, FTA bench warrant. Position number 16, Walker, FTA bench warrant. Position number 17, Wilder, FTA bench warrant. Position number 18, Wright, FTA bench warrant.
And 14, position 14 was dead docketed?
No.
Bench warrant?
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then your C final plea, that's obvious, right? All right, anyone else have anything else that I need to take up today?
I apologize, Judge. I had one calendar and I just want to make sure I got the announcement, the Orca C motions calendar.
Oh, there's an announcement on that. I'll let the litigation managers announce that.
Good morning. Both cases are going to be reset.
So there is no calendar, Ms. Helen.
Thank you, Judge.
Both of those cases will be reset, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other questions or concerns?
No, Judge.
No, have a good weekend.
All right, you all have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.